Ow.
What's up, everyone? Punchy back with Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 3, Higurashi. We are back in Hinamizawa with the crew after Punchy talked to Mion, and I really surprisingly, he confronted Mion about her being the leader of the Sonozaki family and being the one who decides and carries out the curse every year, which is crazy because I feel like we've just skipped so much of skipped a bunch of story, like from say chapter 2 where that was the biggest deal, and it just kind of came out and Punchy's like, hey, can you do this? And Mion's like, I'm not saying I can do it, and I'm not gonna do it, but we know she is. So that's, again, super, like, this entire chapter's been super weird, but that one is just shows like how different the story is, how easily accepted it was. Good morning, Punchy-kun. Morning. Thank goodness. I thought you overslept today too. Your mom said you'd gone ahead yesterday, and then you weren't at school. I was worried that you had gotten heat stroke halfway there. Yeah, I'm very sorry for all the worry I caused you yesterday. Hey, good morning. Michan, good morning. Wow, you really stink of liquor. You'll get found out for sure. Oh, right. Wasn't there a big business meeting with all the people on the town council yesterday? They only called it that. It was more like a party. We have to have the festival every year, right? We wouldn't have any annoying meetings at this point. Are you going to help out with the festival this afternoon then? Yep. Right, we're about to get into the Watsunagashi. Now, I mean, I feel like I have to say it out loud, even though people watch this probably saw it yesterday. But, so Punchy had asked me on if she was the one who chooses the who the curse affects. He asked to take Satoko's uncle. Like, he's put out a hit on Satoko's uncle, to his best friend, like one of his best, well, he says his best friend right now, and that's insane. I have to do a meet and greet with all sorts of people in Grandma's place. Oh, in Grandma's place. Besides, they already started setting up for the festival. Our morning conversation was lighthearted, as usual. It looked like Mion had thankfully forgotten about how I'd barged into her house yesterday with that crazy talk. The more I think back on it, I feel like I'd really said something terrible to her. I was really thoughtless, and it wouldn't have been weird if she'd yelled at me. I think it was weirder that she didn't. It was highly possible Takano-san had exaggerated her story. To think that our comrade and friend, Mion, the young leader of the Sonozakis, one of the three families effectively controlling Hinamizawa, was pulling the strings behind the serial death incidents was a little unbelievable. But if there was even a 1% chance that it was true, then what I said yesterday to Mion might have been a success. Yes, it was no more than 1 in 100. But that little bit of effort might have brought the chances of saving Satoko up by even a tiny bit. At least, I had made that effort. After yesterday ended, I was sure I'd done everything I possibly could. If there was something else I could do, it was probably just to clap my hands and pray that Satoko's uncle would be killed by the curse. I hope Satoko makes it today. Me too. Sensei is doing things for her, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. My aunt is a welfare agent in the Hinamizawa district. I gave her a call last night. Huh? I didn't know your aunt was a welfare officer. What happened? Did you tell her about Satoko-chan? Yep. Chi-sensei called the child consultation center right after we talked to her. A child welfare officer apparently visited before the night was over. My aunt said they were going to pay visits at regular intervals from now on. Isn't that what they were doing last time? Enough with the dumb little stuff. I want to know what happened to Satoko. Did they get her safe? My aunt wasn't that informed about it. I was supposed to keep this a secret anyway. Her telling me was a big breach of ethics in the first place. Damn, that makes it feel even worse. Let's get to school. Right. Discussing this more would just make us feel worse. It was far quicker to go to school and see if Satoko was safe or not. The three of us nodded and ran off. Was Satoko safe? What measures had the Child Consultation Center taken? I didn't care what, as long as we could go back to our peaceful life with Satoko today. It didn't matter to me. At the shoe racks at the entrance, Rena took a peek into Satoko's shoe cubby. Ah! Satoko's shoes are here! They're here! Punchy-chan, Satoko came. Thank goodness. We don't know if anything happened just because she came to school. We can't know anything until we see her face. We trotted towards the classroom. The classroom was lively, as it usually was in the morning. Satoko! Where are you? Meep. She's right here. It's too early in the morning to be so loud. Would you please keep it down a bit? Satoko-chan! Are you okay? All of our friends crowded around Satoko excitedly. A probation officer came, right? How did it go? Who was it that called them? I swear, it was quite a mess, you know. It was the teacher. You were absent for so long, of course, she was worried. Satoko said, I told you I'm fine, under her breath. She was still trying to overcome all the suffering on her own. It was a big bother to both me and my uncle. The person just barged in on us suddenly. Jeez. Everyone was worried about you, Satoko. Don't say it was a bother. Ah, jeez. Anyway, what happened? Nothing happened. Ho ho ho. My cold got better, so I came back to school. That's all. I can't take too much time off from now on because you'll all worry about me. Ho ho ho. What was Satoko saying? What happened to, well, your uncle? Oh, he admitted there was some misunderstandings, and we both apologized. Tug. Rika-chan grabbed the back of my collar and pulled me away. What is it, Rika-chan? Rika-chan silently dragged me all the way into the hallway. Rika-chan, what did that mean? Satoko said nothing happened, nothing was happening, and chased them away. That idiot! But why? No, somewhere in my mind, I thought it might turn out like this. Satoko didn't ask for anyone's help. She didn't hide behind anyone. She was trying to ride out this pain. She wanted to show Satoshi proof that if he came back to them, she wouldn't need to hide behind him anymore. But Coach said probation officers can bring her to safety in an emergency, even if it's against her wishes. However much Satoko denies the abuse, it's a fact. Sensei finally came. Her expression was far from cheerful. Yes, you're right, Mirabara-kun. If the child welfare officer determines that it's an emergency, they have the right to immediately take them to safety, regardless of the affected party's intent. Then why? Why is Satoko's intent being so respected so much? It's weird. Why don't they put her into safety? Well, after the person in charge at the Child Consultation Center looked into it from many angles, they determined... What the hell is that? Sensei, didn't you say it was going to be alright since you definitely save her? What's the meaning of this? This doesn't make any sense. Answer me, damn it. Punchy, this is actually the third time someone has reported Satoko's child abuse. It happened twice in the past, too. Furuta-san! Sensei tried to stop her, but Rika-chan went on speaking anyway. Twice before? I heard they decided to wait and see after repeating it the winter before last. But it happened before then too? Satoko's father, who died, wasn't her real father. What? Rika-chan, that's... What? I'm stunned at the sudden revelation. I really am. This got a whole lot messier. I had no idea what Rika-chan wanted to tell me, but it seemed really important, so I couldn't get a word in either. Satoko's mother remarried. She brought Satoko and Satoshi with her, so they weren't related by blood to their father. Satoshi was a good kid, one who listened politely to what adults told him. He immediately welcomed their new father and was loved. But Satoko was different. She was rebellious. She told lies. She played pranks. Her stepfather didn't like her at all. What? So, what do you mean? Even before she was given to their uncle and his wife, Satoko didn't have a very good relationship with her family. Of course, her stepfather didn't have any malicious intent at the start. At first, he must have worked hard to get his new daughter to accept him. But the young Satoko didn't make any effort at all towards that end. She was distant towards her stepfather and never opened her heart to him, even a little. She just got on his nerves all the time, with seemingly forced lies and pranks. Her father's discipline and punishment must have been loving at first, of course, but that too faded quickly. I don't know because I wasn't in Hinoizawa at the time, but I learned this on the phone yesterday. What story did you hear, Sensei? That Satoko-chan wanted to trick her parents, especially her father, so she inflicted wounds on herself so she could make up a false story about abuse, and that she sent out an SOS herself. She made up a story about hurting herself? Satoko made a fake phone call to try and get rid of the father she hated. Child welfare officers rushed there and heard the story. Her father generally apologized for a few times when he had gone too far and agreed to let the child welfare center give him coaching. Related agencies looked into it quite a bit. They determined that Satoko-chan and her stepfather's hearts not being quite matched up was the cause of the incident. But they found another problem above that with Satoko-chan. The problem with Satoko? What was it? Satoko's mother. There were a few times she had lived with de facto husbands, though those relationships didn't result in remarriage. From a young age, Satoko had been forced to call at least 2 or 3 people her father. At some point, Satoko's pranks escalated. She would spill food on purpose, turn over her plate, and even throw it. She would break the windows in the neighborhood and shoplift candy. She would put thumbtacks everywhere and set other traps to seriously hurt people. Well, now that kind of makes sense about the traps that we saw. Not in the way she did now, just to get laughs. She was also fond of telling lies that would be found out right away, and people got mad at her every time. But she never, ever changed her behavior. Please don't think Satoko-chan was a problem child. Satoko-chan was young. It was an act of self-defense that she had taken against the unknown men her mother had chosen. In regards to Satoko's problematic behavior, child psychology experts from public institutions indicated her actions were to draw her mother's attention to herself. They acknowledged that she had a form of harmful emotional trauma and declared that she needed counseling and therapy from professionals. They didn't know whether the therapy had healed the wounds in her heart. Satoko-chan purposely hurt for herself and told him that she was being abused by her stepfather in an attempt to chase him out. But in the end, her stepfather did abuse her, right? No. All of the abuse had been made up by Satoko-chan. Her stepfather, of course, may have scolded her in a somewhat emotional way, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. Satoko had lied to chase away her stepfather, and they saw through her right away and found out that Satoko had issues. Oh, could it be? That's why the winter before last, they decided to wait and see? Yes, the Child Consultation Center had all their past records, so they needed to act carefully in case Satoko was lying. What the hell? So what? Satoko might be telling a lie, so they needed to be careful. So, how does that mean they'd end up waiting and seeing? It was the girl who cried wolf. That fable about telling a lie once, making others unwilling to believe you later. That's bullshit! The past has nothing to do with this, does it? Only what's really happening right now was important. Satoko is being abused by her uncle. Why is something that happened in the past getting in the way of helping her now? Neither Sensei nor Rika-chan had anything to say to that. Anyway, yesterday, a probation officer visited to carefully determine what was going on. And Satoko dealt with them, put on the best, strongest smile she could manage, and denied the abuse. Of course, she's probably being threatened to keep quiet about it by her uncle. Satoko was trying to outlast everything without asking for help. Satoko wanted to wait for Satoshi to come back home, and she outright denied the truth of the abuse. What an idiot. What? You're not really enduring it. Do you really think pretending like this will actually bring Satoshi back? Just stop it already. Satoshi, he abandoned you. And the fact that he hasn't shown up to save you now is proof, isn't it? So just stop it. Please, stop being weird and pretending to endure it. Forget everything we just said. Understand? If you tell anyone else, your teacher will be very mad with you. Chi-sensei gave me a warning, then left to go back to the teacher's lounge. Punchy, please don't think Satoko is being a pathetic, pitiful girl. She's living life. I know that! She's our irreplaceable friend. Satoko is still trying her best. Let's watch over her a little longer. The person from the consultation center said they'd visit periodically from now on. If something terrible happens, they'll help her right away. Yeah, but only after it happens. Any more than that would have sounded like I was picking a fight, so I firmly swallowed my next words and went back to the classroom. Me and Arena were talking to Satoko like they always did. It was a silly conversation, a humorous, even fun one, like it wasn't any old day. If Satoko really said she could still endure it, then maybe I should do as Rika-chan said and watch over her. Maybe whatever help I offer will just go unwanted. Oh, that was rough. So now we know a little bit more about actual Satoko's background, not just her family's, but Satoko's. Oh. I mean, so I recorded everything up to yesterday's episode, like all at once, and oh man, coming back, it's just as heavy as ever, but it's still really good. There's just like adding layer of depth, and I can see why you guys said it's it's either one of your favorites or is your favorite. It's just so different. It's more than just the so many like mysteries, the killer is hidden behind the veil type of thing. Oh jeez. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.